Hello and welcome to Balderdash Academy. I'm your headmaster, Bob LeBlanc. Joining me is our faculty, Professor of English Language Arts, Molly McGill.
Hello, party people.
Coach of the Balderdash Academy Dashers, Steve Corning.
Normally I don't care, but tonight I'm here to win.
Professor of STEAM, Nate Green.
What is winter?
Yes.
No?
And our reigning champion by the biggest lead in Balderdash Academy history. She won by 400 points.
That was insane.
Professor of
crazy.
Home Ec and Wellness, Marie Stewart Harmon.
Yes.
So happy to be joining you all here as always. Bring it on, Coach.
I was clapping for you. That was not sarcastic. You deserved it. I was trying to be
He
a good
was
teammate.
giving you the clap as best he could.
It's very...
Our visiting professor today is Joe Swenson. Joe is an actor, improviser, director, producer, president of the production company Broken Arts Entertainment, author of Letter Number 3, and the key links to everything he does is in the description. Joe has agreed to be our scorekeeper tonight while our faculty members compete for the coveted reigning champion banner. They will compete in a series of games. At the end of each, Joe will assign points to a competitor he feels is most worthy. He is not looking for the correct answer and will likely only find it if one of our faculty members accidentally blurts it out. Instead, he's looking for the best answer. Now, the points are arbitrary. They can be given at any time to anyone for any reason. At the end of the show, the faculty member with the highest point total will be named the reigning champion. Defending her title is three-time reigning champion Marie Stewart Harmon.
Yay!
All right, our first pop quiz is from Professor Molly McGill of English Language Arts. Molly, what do you have for us?
Oh, greetings, faculty, my favorite faces, and welcome visiting Professor Joe Swenson. I missed your face. Good to see you again. As you all know, we kick this show off with a word of the day, so we're going to just dive right in. We'll see if you have been studying like you always do. Joe, I'm going to read a word. They're going to tell us what they think the definition is. I'm going to go back to you after I recap them, and you're going to give points to what you think is the best answer, not necessarily the correct answer. Tonight's word of the day is Walla Walla. Tonight's
Walla Walla?
word of the day is Walla Walla.
Walla? Wah.
Walla Walla.
Walla
Nate.
Walla.
You look like you're
Me?
really onto something there. Yep.
That is amazing that I looked that way.
Yeah.
So this is actually a new type of kind of bounce house thing. You know those things that you run up to, you jump on it, you're wearing like a Velcro suit, and you hit the wall? This is a little different in the sense that it's that, but combined with a slip and slide. And it's called the Walla Walla because you start on a wall, you jump, and I was wrong, you start on the floor, but you jump, you hit the wall, and then you slide down, and there's trampolines right below it. So then you just keep bouncing up and down the wall. And because you hit the wall more than once, it's called the Walla Walla.
Ah, yes, of
makes
course.
sense.
The Velcro slip and slide. Marie,
Yep.
what do you got for us?
Walla Walla is actually a battle cry. It is a battle cry exclusively used on Black Friday amongst families targeting big TVs at Walmart. It's a communication battle cry. You're at one end of the store, I'm at the other. Walla Walla, you got me. I'm running for that TV. Walla Walla, and it's also like a call and response. Walla Walla.
Got it. That is absolutely terrifying. Bob, what do you have?
Yes.
So, I understand the mispronunciation. It happens to all of us. I have taken Norse mythology, and Vala Vala is the suburbs of Valhalla. So what happens is there's a time in a Viking's life, in the Norseman's life, where they didn't necessarily die in battle, but they died violently and heroically while doing something else. Those people couldn't go to Valhalla to wait for Ragnarok, but they did go to Vala, a lovely golf course. I think you'd really enjoy it.
It does sound quite enticing. Steve.
Thank you for calling on me. This is actually a Native American word, and I just learned about this recently. This was basically the equivalent of a convenience store in the 1500s. So the Native Americans would, pull up in their canoe, gas up, grab a couple rabbit pelts for, the night in case it gets chilly, grab some snacks, some corn on the cob, that kind of thing, and they'd go off on their merry way. And this was actually the first example of convenience stores in America. And this was in the Pennsylvania region, and today we still use these same exact convenience stores. They're called Wawas. Yes.
Thank you so much, and I'm you're welcome for calling on you. You were the last to be called on. So Joe, we have Nate's Velcro no slippy no slidey trampoline double wall. We have Marie's Black Friday crowd cry. We have Bob's Norway suburban hell, and we have Steve's the predate to the Wawa.
Steve's answer.
All right, well, let's start with let's just start giving out some points. Molly, first of all, I want to give you 10 bonus points for being a wonderful host of the first game.
10.
Thank you so much.
Nice job, Molly.
Yeah, no
Hey,
problem.
Molly, you have something on your nose right there.
Yeah. Can you get that?
It's
got
not quite black, but it's kind of on that end of the Roy J. Biv.
It's called an effervescent glow.
So I'm going to do this in order. Nate, man, you had me going so well all the way up to the point where you said, and I quote, "I was wrong."
Yeah, you should never say that.
Yeah. Also,
When
I'm
you try to prove a fact.
not too
I don't even
keen on
remember
the
saying that.
engineering, so I think you've lost 5 points. Now, I'm not sure if you go under 0, but you are now. -5.
-5.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry.
Like a golf score, right?
Yeah, it's like a golf.
Yeah.
Marie, the battle cry on Black Friday, and then the call and respond, and you demonstrated. That's an easy 10 points. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Voila!
Walla!
Yeah.
Walla at
exactly.
your boy. Life is easy.
Bob, first of all, I'm a huge nerd. I love it when you nerd out, and that's what you did. And I appreciate that so much. But you get an additional, so you're going to get the 10 points for that, but you get an additional 3 bonus points for making a reference to a golf course that is also called Valhalla. So great job.
I knew that would
Great
get
job.
you,
Saw that
Joe.
coming.
All right.
It's from the patronized region of Norway.
Exactly. nice. Having been a frequent visitor of Wawa's, I was a huge fan of Steve's answer, gassing up the canoes.
Yes.
Yep. Getting your rabbit pelts and just kind of a convenience store of sorts. So, Steve, you get 15 points. Congratulations.
Nice.
That was
Nice
awesome.
job.
Nice.
Nice job.
So what does it really mean, Molly?
Oh yeah, I was just
important
so
to know.
happy about all those points we got. I feel just so you're just so generous. And I was also thinking
I
about
know it's a
when-
battle cry, but
I also was thinking about Steve when he said snacks like corn on the cob. Okay.
America's
All
first
right.
snacks.
Yeah. Walla Walla is actually, which, Joe, I think you would appreciate coming from an incredible theater background, being a playwright and putting on productions left and right. It's theater slang for what extras whisper in crowd scenes to pretend they're talking.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Walla Walla.
There you go. I'm
Wow.
also from Washington State, where there is a Walla Walla.
So there you
Thought
go.
I'd throw that out there.
Nice.
Excellent.
Shout out to the
Speaking
homeland.
of Joe, before we move into our next game, I will spin an opening icebreaker question for Joe from the Balderdash randomizer. So the spin will generate a random question that Joe will try to answer in 30 seconds or less. Now, these questions can be anything from random to personal to career to whatever we come up with. So, here we go. The randomizer says... All right, so the icebreaker question is, in 1923, jockey Frank Hayes won a race at Belmont Park, New York. What made this win noteworthy? You have 30 seconds.
First
Easy.
of all, yeah, Frank Hayes was this was significant because Frank Hayes was the first jockey to ever weigh in at under 100 pounds in riding a horse at Belmont Park in New York. Prior to that, jockey size really wasn't a big deal. So they used science to understand that the smaller the jockey, the faster the horse can go.
Under
seems
30
totally
seconds.
right.
Wow, nailed it.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm giving Joe 20 points. That was a damn good answer.
Joe takes
Yeah.
the lead.
That wasn't the right answer. What made it noteworthy
believed it.
was he was dead. So he suffered a heart attack mid-race, but his body stayed in the saddle until his horse crossed the finish line for a 20-1 outsider victory.
Wow, that's
Holy
So the moral
moly.
of the story there
That's
is if you
commitment.
want to win, kill your jockey. So,
I don't think that's it.
no.
We're
It's
taking
one of the
that back.
takeaways.
Alan,
Hold
strike
on,
that.
hold on. Alan, disclaimer. Thank you. So,
Thank you, Alan.
our first game is called Four Questions. Now, Joan is not here tonight. Joan couldn't be with us. Instead, we have Joe Swenson. You're going to like him. He's one of our friends. So, our first game is called Four Questions. Joe is well known for his artistic intensity, his love of numbers, the fact that his name is Joe and not Joan, and a devotion to Seattle sports. So in honor of our visiting professor today, today's four questions will be about the great city of Seattle.
okay.
Nevada.
So, Seattle was continuously inhabited for 4,000 years. Now, the first Europeans didn't show up until 1792. So, who stopped in the area in 1792? What was the name of the explorer who landed in Seattle area? Marie, what do you have?
It was obviously Iwana, the Inuit, who just traveled south for a minute, wanted to do some exploring, found that Seattle was too warm that far south. So they turned right up into the colder weather where they felt more comfortable. Iwana, the Inuit.
Iwana,
Yes.
the Inuit, made a hard left 3,000-mile turn and wound up in
Yes.
Seattle. That's an excellent answer. Molly, what do you have?
Oh, it was actually the Hendersons. See, they embarked on a cross-country trip, really wanted to see all America had to offer. So they went the northern route. And then the northern route really peaked in Seattle. But it was just really, they came, they saw, they thought
Makes
where the
sense.
Space Needle should be, and then they carried on. It was a highlight of their trip, and they sent postcards from there. So it was lovely.
All right, the Hendersons got themselves in a hairy situation. Steve, what do you have?
Okay, this is actually Alexander Hamilton. Okay, and I know this because I did take a history class one time. I had too many gym credits, so I had to take a history class. Alexander Hamilton, New York was getting a little, a lot of people were moving there. It was getting a little overwhelming. He wanted to try and find somewhere new to hang out. So he took a quick ship around the corner and bang, right into Seattle, future Seattle, I should say. There was actually going to be a song in Hamilton about this excursion, but it got cut for time, obviously. It was called the Supersonic Cabinet Rap Battle.
Could you give us
All
just
right.
a little taste of that, Steve?
Yeah, let's
Yes,
hear it.
please, Steve.
Oh, no.
Really looking forward to this.
I really,
no.
oh,
Well, I mean,
yes.
You are obviously the expert, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I need a beat, though. Somebody go it. Just give me something. Oh, no, I'm not going to rap on my own. Yo, my name is Alex Hamilton. I'm here to say I want to go to Seattle like every day. It's super rainy and nice, but you got to throw your thumbs up. Everybody want to put their guns up in the air. Screw the king, he sucks. I want to go and play for the Milwaukee Bucks. Yo! not the Seattle
I
Supersonics.
can
'cause they
see
don't-
why it
they didn't
got
exist
cut.
at the time. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
that
All right.
good, but I memorized it for posterity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I knew you
obviously Hamilton took his shot and missed. Nate, what do you have?
Nice.
I
thank you,
can't-
Bob.
I cannot believe you're making me go after that. I mean, I will.
Would you like to wrap
But-
it? I got another beat set up.
No. Honestly, I'm just gonna phone this in because there's no beating that. It was Bartholomew Hunt and Leslie Edwards. And they were the first ones out there. They were actually competing against Lewis and Clark. Their ancestors would later go on to make the biopic of them called Almost Heroes, and their ancestors are Matthew Perry and Chris Farley.
All right. Bartholomew, the brother of Bartholo Horse. So
Mhm.
we have all very, very spoken
Answers, of
answers.
course.
Yeah. So
I did
very,
one.
very well done. Double varies on that. So we have Marie with Awana the Inuit, Molly with the
Yes.
Hendersons, Steve with Alexander Hamilton, and Nate with Bartholomew. The actual answer was George Vancouver.
Oh.
Famous British
know.
explorer, George Vancouver. Joe, how would you like to score?
Well, I think we're going to start off with Marie's Awana the Inuit. I mean, yeah, that was a decent answer. I'm going to give you 7 points. Yeah,
7
Thank you,
points.
seven points. Then we went to Molly with the Hendersons, and man, you had me. You had me with the Hendersons. If only you had met Bigfoot.
It was too obvious.
I know. And
That's why I made the joke.
And I wanted obvious. Bob had to give you the assist, but don't worry.
Harry was
back to
on
you in
the
a second.
roof.
So I'm going to give you 9 points. I'm going to give you 9
All
points
right.
for that.
9
But wait,
points.
there's more. There is more. Steve, your answer was terrible, man. That was Alexander Hamilton, but then,
Mhm.
and this is where 4 bonus points go to Molly. Molly instigated the rap.
Instigation points.
Instigation.
I'm gonna remember that for
Instigation
later, Molly.
points.
You were going to be at -5 until those smooth, those dope lyrics. And then I had you at 10. I went from
Ooh.
-5 to 10, but then
Ooh.
back down to 5 because you ended with Milwaukee Bucks instead of something else
Ah.
that rhymed with Bucks.
I know. I should have found a rhyme for Supersonics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
because
you
the
know.
rhyme with Bucks, I have to beep.
Exactly.
I said shucks. I censored myself. I really wanted to not say
did.
that. but
So 5 points for Steve. 5 points for Steve on that.
that's a
Oh, you
good
guys talking about the
middle
word-
average?
Is
Yes,
that
Nate.
okay?
Yeah.
All right. I
Alan's
won't say
happy
that.
you got to play with a button tonight. Thanks, Nate.
I want my own button.
Nate, you went the convincing route, at least trying to convince. And I'm gonna give you 8 points for that. So you're out of the hole. Congrats.
I got
There's a
3.
lot of regret in that section.
No regrets.
It's
No
like a Little
regrets.
Caesar's pizza.
This is just the first of 4. Wow. This.
All right, question number 2.
Here we go.
Seattle was named after the Duwamish chief. What was it called by colonizers before the name change? Molly, what do you have?
It was called Joe's Place. So this guy named Joe landed there and he's like, man, this is a sweet spot for a bar. I'm going to put up a cantina. So that's what he did. He erected it and everyone's like, hey, who put up this awesome cantina? He's like, Joe, Joe's Place. And so it just kind of spread as people started building their houses around that because everyone wanted to be around the watering hole. Joe's Place.
All right, you going to the Olympic range? No. Eat at Joe's. Steve, what do you have?
It was originally named after some of the animals that lived in that region, which were sea cows. So of course it was named sea cattle. And then the same guy who named Arkansas, who's not able to pronounce words, kind of came in and did a rebrand. And he's like, I turned Arkansas into Arkansas. So what I'm going to do for you guys, let's just take out that little C. We're going to call this Seattle. People don't think about cows anymore. They're going to come to your city.
All right, the long extinct sea cattle.
Instinct.
Nate, what do you
right,
have?
yeah.
Long instinct.
So before it was named Seattle, it was named Nautier, because when they went to settle it, they couldn't agree as to if they should settle it there or not, and most of the people said we're not settling here, so they decided to settle there and just call it Not Here, so that way whenever you went there, you ask, where am I? Not here.
All right, hiding in plain sight. Marie, what's your answer? What do you have?
Well, as being one of the most important cities in Washington, people originally were just using the first two letters of Washington. They were calling it Walla Walla, and it was because people were very excited about being there, and they'd Walla Walla. See? And it was the origination of this battle cry that came out of there. Walla Walla, and then they realized it was too confusing. Walla Walla, Washington. So they went with Seattle.
Makes sense. It's they thought ahead to the future of cartoons. So we have Molly with Joe's Place, Steve with Sea Cattle, Nate with Not Here, and Marie with Walla. All answers, all spoken. The actual answer was New York.
Oh,
it was named
We already had
New
that.
York until it didn't stop him down the road in Portland.
Man, those white guys are so boring.
That's
Couldn't
so
come up with
funny.
anything original.
Which could have been Boston
Oh wow!
if the coin landed on the other side.
Wow.
All right, Joe, how would you like to score?
All right, let's start off with Molly, who went with Joe's Place. And my favorite part is that she used the word spread out, which immediately took me to the sequel to Joe's Place, which is Joe's Apartment.
Yes.
Cockroaches. So you're going to get 11 points for that, Molly. Good job.
Yes.
11 points.
Sir.
Yeah. I'm going to come back to Steve because
Oh.
that one was special. Nate's Not Here, which I actually thought he was saying something French at first, which then I was like, wow, I feel like that's out of your professorship, right? That's not part of your subject. So, but then it became Not Here. And
That's more in my wheelhouse.
yeah, more in your wheelhouse. And I was thinking that there would be no points awarded here as well. So Not Here.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
3.
Marie, Walla Walla. My favorite part is that you actually why would they name a town Walla Walla, Washington? It's a lot of stuff. There's actually a Walla Walla, Washington in Southeast Washington. It's a pretty big city too. So not gonna make any fans with the Washington people, but I liked it, so I'm gonna give you 8 points.
We're almost into
Thank
New
you.
Hampshire, so
Points.
we'll eventually
Yeah,
make it there.
Right. We've
Yeah.
almost made it out of state.
See, cattle was easily the best answer of this crazy question. And then you brought in the guy that couldn't pronounce stuff. That was awesome. I died, and as a result, you get 40 points.
Holy macaroni!
40
Hold on to your
points.
sea
However-
cattle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still anybody's game.
I got 3.
All right. Well, with Hal's, you won with a series of 4s. So
That's true.
That's a lot of words.
all right. So our third question. So the famous Pikes Place Market is the oldest continually operating farmers market in America. It was started in 1907 for what reason? Steve, why was Pikes Place Market started?
So there was a cabbage shortage, and people didn't know where to get their sea cabbage. Everything in this area is sea related, and so the Pike Place Market opened up specifically selling cabbage, and they would import it from Mexico. Kind of first over the border deal between America and Mexico, where they would import the sea cabbage, have it go up the coast into Washington, and they built a specific market just to market the sea cabbage.
All right. Nori, any cabbage. Nate, what do you have?
It was placed there by Alexander Hamilton to market his CDs of his original music. And
I got another one for you. If you
well, actually, no, that's perfect. I was just gonna say his title song about sea cabbage and his allergies to it was a huge hit. And Steve, can you sing it for us?
Oh, sure, of course, yeah. Okay, yeah, just turn me up in the... Okay, my name is Alex Hammond, and I'm here to say cabbage makes me kind of itchy all day. If you know what, I'll drink this tonic, then I'll go play for the Supersonics.
Well done. All right.
It sold really well.
All right. Marie, what's your answer?
Pikes Place was actually an underground market when it started. Now it is above ground and sells all kinds of things, including coffee. But when it started, it was for grunge music specifically. It was a new genre of music at the time. The world wasn't really ready for it, so Seattle had an underground grunge scene market specifically to broadcast this new music specifically coming out of Seattle. Then it actually got popular and it moved above ground.
All right. Funny you should say that. Seattle has a vast underground left over from the fire. Molly, what do you have?
That smelled like Teen Spirit. So if you guys didn't know, bubblegum exploded onto the scene in Seattle. Everyone was doing it. You couldn't walk down the street without seeing somebody walking and chewing gum at the same time. These people were skilled. So what Pikes Place originally was a place for people to put their spent bubblegum, because otherwise it would be all over the ground. So what they did was they started with one wall and they just kept sticking it, and Pikes Place became the place to put your bubble gum. It then expanded to sell stuff because they're like, there's so many people here. Let's sell some pierogies. And, it went from there.
That makes sense. An answer that blows. We have 4 answers, all very well spoken, 1 very well wrapped. We have Steve's sea cabbage shortage. We have Nate with Hamilton to market CDs of his founding music. Marie's underground market until it became popular, then never mind, and Molly's bubblegum. The actual answer was Pikes Place was created to stop price gouging wholesalers.
Bastards.
Why were they selling holes?
No idea. Well, they were big. You keep things in them. Joe, how would you like to score?
Steve, bring sea cabbage imported from Mexico. Sea cabbage imported from Mexico. I have a question for you before I score it.
Sure.
What does that taste like?
It's a little bit like a zucchini.
Ew.
It's like
That
a leafy
seems
zucchini.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A leafy zucchini.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you 2 whole points.
Wholesale points.
2
hopefully.
points.
2 wholesale points. Yeah. Let's see. Second to go was Marie. I loved your answer. I love the fact that the grunge movement began in 1907. That's exciting because
Yeah,
I'm a
it's good
huge
to know.
grunge fan.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, as Bob alluded to, there is a massive underground in Seattle, and that's actually where grunge started. So, I mean, grunge started as this underground thing with Screaming Trees and some other grunge bands. And so, yeah, kudos for flipping history kind of on its head and making it go back to 1907. I love the fictionalization of that. 32 points.
Wow.
32.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hot
You're
dang.
welcome.
Nice.
Nate, I'll get back to you. Molly?
Cool.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, just take your time. Molly, bubblegum. Spent bubblegum might be my favorite 2 words put together now. I'm going to use that pretty much everywhere, at movie theaters, whenever those open back up. Anywhere you might find spent bubblegum. So because of that, because you've added to my vocabulary, you get 14 points.
Great. Thank you.
14.
Yeah, 14 points. Nate, did you actually give us an answer? I mean, I know it was Alexander Hamilton and selling his CDs, but then you made Steve rap, which gave him 40 more points.
It was worth it.
Yeah. Every time Steve raps, the dude's going to get 40 points from it.
He's a good rapper. Are you
Right
saying
there.
he's not?
It's true.
No. I mean, LL Cool J, I could see some Kid and Play in there. Maybe some Sir Mix-a-Lot. Seattle reference.
Those are all of my inspirations. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I thought. But you were the instigator. So while I was going to give you negative points for your awesome answer, I am going to give you 10 points for instigating. Good job.
I love these instigation points. This is
I know.
genuinely that makes the game fun.
All right. So our final question of 4 questions. We work with Joe at the Chamber of Comedy. And so the answer to this next question should explain a lot about our Joe to the faculty. So, in 2013, the fans of the Seattle Seahawks set what world record? Steve, what's your answer?
The answer is the most guys named Greg in one stadium.
Okay, so a stadium full of gregariousness. Nate, what do you have?
It is. They all got onto a flatbed truck, traveled at 50 miles an hour, and had the longest drive while taking a drive. It's a golf joke.
All right. So driving while driving on a flatbed. Marie, what's your answer?
Oh, I totally just had one and then I got stuck in the golf world. Can you ask the question again?
Yes, in 2013, the fans of the Seattle Seahawks set what world record?
The amount of hospitals they visited doing charity work. They are a wonderful and compassionate team who cares deeply about their community, and they're constantly trying to do good things, and they saw like a lot of people in hospitals and brought good cheer to everyone.
All right, cheered in hospitals. Molly, what's your answer?
There's one thing Seahawks hate, it's seagulls. So what happened was they caught the most seagulls ever. What everybody did is they held up their popcorn and their hot dogs and their French fries, and the seagulls swooped in, and they just all together, whoop-de-doo, a net, and most seagulls caught ever.
Wow.
Nice.
All right,
Wow.
catching a sky full of sky rats.
Whoop-de-doo.
So we have Steve with most Gregs, Nate with driving off of a driving flatbed truck. We have Marie with visited the most hospitals, and we have Molly with catching the most seagulls. The answer was
I know it.
the loudest crowd roar at a sports stadium at 137.5 decibels, or 3 decibels less than the sound of a jet engine.
Ooh.
That's really loud.
What was the
They're
occasion?
Yes.
Sight.
What was the occasion?
The occasion was specifically a touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay, was it Super Bowl?
Did they not
touchdown?
get
No,
many?
that
It
would
was
have been
not
in Seattle.
No. It was a wild card game. Its nickname is Beastquake. It actually registered on the Richter scale.
It was a 1.0 on the Richter scale.
Yeah.
1.0
Wow.
earthquake.
Wow.
Yeah. Beast mode. Marshawn Lynch
Yes.
broke 8 tackles on his way to the end zone against the
Oh,
Saints.
wow.
Yeah. I remember
He was on my fantasy
I gotta
team.
pull this up.
No, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, watch
So-
it. Yeah. All right.
Joe, how would you like to score?
First of all, I have 2 cousins named Greg, and I'm from Seattle. So most guys named Greg gets 11 points.
Nice.
All right.
Gregarious.
Gregarious. Nate, I was like, where are you going with this? But then, of course, as simple-minded as I am, you got me with it's a golf joke. So that's 10 points.
Me too.
It's always good when you have to explain a
Me
joke.
too.
Exactly.
Should have just let off with that. It's a golf joke.
Man. Marie, going to most hospitals doing charity work. First of all, Russell Wilson is massively involved with many different charities. And one of the things that
I know.
watch, I don't know if you're like stalking me or something, because I watch little Facebook videos of Seahawks going to charitable events and hospitals all the time. So you get 20 points.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you get
20
Thank
points.
you.
Molly, I hate seagulls. Seahawks hate seagulls.
Sure do.
And I love the trap. I love the trap, the popcorn. I thought that was smart. So you're going to get 13 points.
Yes, thank you.
13 points.
Thanks.
And speaking of points, our points are: I am in last place with 13 points. Next we have Joe with 20. Then we have Nate with 23, Molly with 61, Steve with 73, and in the lead, our reigning champion Marie with 77 points.
Oh, girl.
Well done. Join us for our conversation with Joe Swenson, actor, writer, director, producer, improviser. Another word that ends with when we return to Balderdash Academy.
Father.
Go Dashers!
Father.
For complete episodes and more, visit us at balderdashacademy.com.
Don't fear the Cuban sandwich 300 miles away. As a theater and film director and former U.S. Marine, Joe has it covered. Learn all about his artistic style and how he was able to adapt his newest project, Quarantine 2038, for the pandemic. Catch it all here in our conversation with visiting professor Joe Swenson in the next Balderdash Academy.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. You can find us on your favorite podcast service as Balderdash Academy. Go Dashers!